Well, good morning, folks, and welcome to Noel's Garden Tractors and Firewood. Today is Sunday, June 29th. And today is the Sunday afternoon fireside chat, but um, it's still the morning. And I don't know if I'll have a fire on or not today, but I might. It's kind of, well, it's kind of cool. It's not cool. It's kind of, I don't know. Anyway, I got some things to do, so I might be all right. And if I get going and doing something, I'll make it warmed up, and that'll be good. Won't have to have a fire on. So anyway, that's the way it's going to go with the Sunday chats for the next only 2 months or so, and then we'll be back into having the fires again. And September, but the end of September, I guess. 3 months maybe. Anyway, so I'm just sitting here in the garage, kind of wondering as to what am I gonna do today, and I'll spin you around here slowly so you don't get dizzy. And I'm on my swivelly chair here, sitting at the front of the door, so I can kind of just turn right around. That's a good thing to have, isn't it? Yeah. So you can see this muffler here that I'm kind of looking at. That's on the MF7 tractor. And then, whoops, wrong way. And right there you can kind of see the MF12 loader tractor. And then we have Dave's favorite tractor. Sir Dave's favorite tractor. Ford with the cab on it. Dave. And alright, what else have we got here? We'll spin around kind of slowly, kinda. And then look at that. See that trailer? Look at that. It's all full of wood. So, at a snail's pace today, I'll be doing some of that, taking that in the garage and stacking it away. I think that's what's going to happen. So that, like I say, may warm me up a little bit. At a snail's pace, it might not, but anyway. So the wife and the cat are going to come out and help me do that, aren't they? Yeah. Anyway, it'll just be me stacking, that's for sure. Now, what else have we got going on here? Oh, I just had a real nice breakfast here this morning. I'll spin you around again. Don't get dizzy on me. I'll make myself dizzy. Oh yeah, I gotta go this way for a second. Get my phone here. I want to show you what I had for breakfast. Boy. Yeah, look at that. Hopefully I can get that in the picture. No, that's the wrong way. So I'm gonna have to. I'll have to turn this around, I guess, and then I'll show you. All right. There now. You can see that or not. I'll get this out of the glare. I guess I can't. Oh, there's a little bit. Anyway, steak and eggs, bacon, toast, and a glass of orange juice. That was today's Sunday breakfast. And that breakfast is called No Dinner Required. Anyway, oh dear. So, that's the start of the Sunday afternoon fireside chat, done in the morning without a fire. What else do we want to do here? Busy, busy, busy. Oh, I guess we'll walk out that way and I'll show you. What did I show you? Oh yeah. I'm going to show. There's a bee going. There's a big fella. The bees are about an inch and a quarter to inch and a half long. Holy cats, some of them are big. So yeah, there's a load of wood we're going to get in. I'm kind of expecting that might finish filling the garage, maybe. Maybe. So if that does that, then I'll need one more trailer load, and maybe not as big as that. And then I'll finish filling this up again. Good to have a backup, because I obviously needed it last year. Yes, sir. Burned a lot of wood last year. So, yeah, busy with house painting this week. And holy cats, there's a lot of stuff to do. Anyway, I finished this side the other day. Now it needs another coat. Don't look too bad. It's kind of like the 20 or 30 foot rule. Don't look too bad from 20 or 30 feet away. But when you walk up to it and look at it a certain way, it doesn't look very good. And the reason is because of the scraping of the old paint. You can see where all the paint was scraped off and where the paint wasn't scraped off. And you got smooth looking spots and you got rough looking spots. And as far as I know, there's no way to get rid of that. So anyway, so this second coat that's going to go on here, I haven't figured out yet whether I'm going to spray it or I'm going to put the brush to it again. Now, spraying it is a problem. If the white was not done, then it wouldn't be a problem. You could just spray all the gray and then take the white and paint the white and go over the overspray on the white. But now that the white has been done first, and we have the white gutters here, if I spray, I'm going to get gray on this stuff here. So I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do there. So, do I do the extra work of covering all that stuff up around the door and up top there where the caterpillar is? And I could hold a piece of cardboard there and just kind of go along and keep the overspray off the eave part, the white part up top. But yeah, I don't know. The other thing I'm thinking is, now that it's painted, it'll be easier to brush another coat on, since you're not trying to get the paint into the bare wood. So second, it may be easier to brush on this time instead of like the last time. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Hopefully get to start at this week, depending on weather. And one thing about the spray, it's a lot easier to get in around that stuff. You just give her the spray and you got it all done. No fooling around trying to get in around with the brush. So this side gets the sun probably early morning when the sun comes up, right into probably 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and that's why this side is the worst. Now this side here, not a thing wrong with it. No peeling, no nothing. Now this only gets sun on it probably early morning when the sun is weak, and only for probably 2 to 3 weeks out of the year, which we're right at this point now. So, and then when we go around, this wall here gets the sun in the late afternoon over that way. The sun at the moment is now setting. You can see his deck or the whatever that is, the canopy thing on his deck, that's about where the sun sets at the moment. In the wintertime, the sun sets over behind my garage. So there's quite a range in where it goes, that's for sure. So sun don't get the real hot sun on this side, but I did find a couple of spots where the paint was coming off here, and it was only, I think, 3 spots, so I just kind of dabbed it up with the paint I had, and I just did that the other day, so you really can't even see where I did that. So that wall's not going to get done either. And this wall, yeah, well, this one, hopefully do this one, I guess. Look at that. That should never have scraped it the way I did when I did it years ago. Too much scraping. And what good did it do? Nothing. So anyway, I'll try and paint this wall too, I guess so. And of course the garage needs paint on, especially on the front side here, because it gets the sun there too throughout the day. And the rest of the garage probably needs a touch up too, but you can kind of see, used to have plastic shutters on either side of the windows on the garage and out on the front of the house. But Hurricane Fiona didn't seem to like them, and of course they were old and brittle from being old, and the plastic was weak. So Hurricane Fiona just kind of removed them for me. Anyway, I had to paint underneath where those shutters were, and you really can't see any difference there. You might if you really looked at it. But one is a wee little bit shinier part of the paint that I put on. It might be shinier than the other stuff, but like I say, there's nobody in here anyway, so it makes no difference. So yeah, we're gonna go over here. Yeah, you can see too much scraping. Anyway, so it's just going to get a light scraping, and that's going to be it. And then put the paint to it, I guess. So anyway, that's how I'm coming along here with this paint here. So, oh boy, painting and weed whacking are just one of those things that I don't really care for. And I don't know if anybody really likes painting. You know, what's even worse really though is the scraping. That's even worse than the painting. Yeah. And I'm kind of thinking I'd rather do weed whacking as much as I hate it. Anyway, there we go. I'll just shut this off here for a little bit. And like I say, this could be all done this morning, or it could be throughout the day, this chat, so I'm going to try and keep it short, because people don't seem to like long videos, I guess, so that's the way that is, I guess. So I'm going to get in here. What have we got here now? We got that part done, so I'm hoping that trailer full is going to fill the rest of that row up to the ceiling, and then come out towards me, and then make another row from the floor up to the ceiling, and then that'll be it for in here. So, all right, so I'm going to do a little bit here. I don't know if I'm going to use the wagon or if I'm going to use the loader, so we'll see. I'm going to get something done here. Yeah, old Canada Day is coming on Tuesday, so happy Canada Day coming. I'll probably put the John Deere out in the front yard with the flag on it. I might put the loader tractor out and grab that flag over there and stick it up on the loader and put it up in the air or somehow or something like that. maybe, I don't know. And yeah, I think that's about it. So still a million things to do at my son's place. Anyway, there's always something to do. And the other thing is, we never even used the loader again this week, so that's 2 weeks that it hasn't been used. So, but it's got jobs coming up, so it'll be all right. So I'll get to do what I'm doing. To do what I'm supposed to be doing here is to stacking the wood, and then I'll get at the stickers here after that. All right, we got a little bit out of the trailer there. If you can see, it's kind of hard to see, I guess. Just on the left side there, took a bunch out of there. So we're moving along at a snail's pace here today. So there's where she's at now. That's one trailer load done for today. Let's see how much further I get. All right, I guess we'll get at the stickers here now. So I'll try and keep the video short, but it's hard to know. And like I've been saying, I haven't been watching all the videos and doing all the commenting. I guess I'm kind of slowing down on it, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. Anyhow, there are some good videos I've seen here. And as we always start with Grampy here, Mike is Grampy's Workshop. Now, Mike's attachments shelter kind of went kafooey on him, and the shelter that he keeps his tractor in kind of went kafooey on him, so he's tore those down, and he's now into leveling out a spot to figure out what kind of a storage system or shelters that he can put up to store his attachments and tractors. Still hasn't decided as to what way to go yet, but he was doing some leveling out there, and he was taking up the old stuff from where the tractor was stored, and this is a real good video if you like watching loader work. Mike did a great job of getting those beams up, and he had driven rod down into the ground to hold the 6x6s on the ground. I think it is 6x6 or maybe 8x8, I forget now. And Jumpsy put in some 4-foot long rod down there, so drilled holes and pounded them down through, and loader had quite a job trying to get that up out of there, but they come up out of there eventually. But it's a good video to see how a loader works, that's for sure. Great thing to have. So I'm glad that I got mine from Gator's World. Although we haven't used it in the last 2 weeks, our loader, but yeah, it will get used again, that is for sure. Anyway, good video there on what Mike is doing for his shelters. Great loader work there. That's a good video to watch. So then we have Murphy Mowers. I can't remember, of course, what was what there. I think he had a tool review, I think, but I'm not sure now. No, I can't remember for sure. Then we have Len's keeping busy. Garden Tractor Boy is working on his 62 Ride-O-Matic. This is a tractor that they use quite often, and as he says, pretty well every day. And of course, they've got themselves in another pickle now. They're going to another show, and they need to do a whole bunch of work on this Ride-O-Matic before they go in 2 weeks' time. They sure like getting themselves in pickles, that's for sure. Anyway, front end work and some bearing work and some things like that to do on it. So, like I say, that tractor gets used quite a bit, so around their property. So, you can kind of see why it would be in need of some attention. Now, Joseph, you do such a great job of all that front end work. I've got a dozen garden tractors here that would need all that kind of work, the same work done to them all. So you and your father, Mr. Cameraman, should make a vacation time and come to my house and do my front end jobs on all my dozen tractors. So you'd have to come for about a month, I would say. Great job, fellas. That's a good job done there. And here we are, have Dell in the backyard with Dell. And hopefully Dell's shoulder's coming along good for him. And then we'll have Kenny here. It still says open air adventure, but it has changed to Firewood adventure, and a new sticker is coming. RCAF Polar Express Dave got himself a leaf blower and was demonstrating how that all worked and how good it was built, and it's quite a machine. Now, I kind of think Dave's neighbors, it's a wonder they don't call the loony bin on him, because he was out there with this leaf blower trying to blow a water puddle down the street. Anyway, Dave gives her a good test when he's doing a test. That's what Dave does, that's for sure. Then we have maintenance with Mike. And we have Brock, Loose Mowers and Boats. I think Brock had a ride on there he was doing something with. But I didn't see that video, yeah. Rick and Donita, well, they had an indoor pussycat that they had to he had to be done in, I guess, so that's kind of sad. But anyway, I guess I forget now what they said. The cat was 18, maybe, I think. I'm not sure. I forget now. And he has a new tool coming to the woodyard there, so stay tuned for that. Noel's Garden Tractors and Firewoods been busy again this week, painting, doing some wood, and other little things in between, of course. So that's all going, and the same thing will be happening for the next few weeks. When I'm ever going to get to cut the 16 cords of wood, I have no idea. Anyway, Twin Brook Acres, Rick, everyday projects. Craig picked up a bunch of batteries off the road. Not sure what he's going to do with them. I didn't get to see that video, so like I say, I'm not getting to see all the videos anymore, it seems, so I do what I can. Gravely Man Small Engine Repair. Artie, from what I can remember, had his 61 postal gravely out and cut some grass in the field there with it, so the grass was long, and he says he measured it with 14 inches, so yeah, it definitely looked like it. But the Gravely did a great job on it. You know, for a low horsepower machine, it did a great job. In my busy little shop, Robert is still at the leather work and at times does some excellent tool restoring. Logfather is still at it. I'm way behind on watching his videos. Allen Family Firewood got over the heat wave, and I didn't see that video. Big Sons, I'm sure he's cutting grass, and I haven't seen any videos, or I didn't watch them. Cod Raven had a video out today on rabbits and pigs and stuff like that, I think. I didn't get to see that. Tucker and I out and about. Outdoors in the 608. Jeremiah, what did he do? Oh, he moved his escalator up higher so he could get the wood into the round bin better. Larry Cluck had a little video there on digging up something and trying to fish a wire through a piece of pipe, so got that done. Ross on the Land, Club Dora, K&L Firewood. There we go, great channel there. Haven't seen anything from Mike though lately. Gator's World, Gator was at the fixing up inside the camp, so he was doing some wood trim work around his windows and doors with red cedar. So that's does a great job of that. And John at the Bradley's on Catbird Hill, I'm sure he's still cutting wood there because of the tornado that came through and blew down a bunch of trees. Father and son outdoors. Tractor Talk with Gary. Great video there on an auction for John Deere tractors that are in better than brand new condition. High horsepower tractors, and in my mind, high money tractors. But anyway, that's because I don't have any money, I guess. Anyway, there we go. Good videos there. A couple of videos already done and another one coming up. So, and we have the Gary approved smoke from the muffler on the tractor. And then we have Steve, Rusty Restorations, and Steve was at his Cub Cadet putting a Kubota 2-cylinder diesel in it. So that's moving along great. He's got things pretty well figured out there. So that's a good one, Steve. I kind of like watching that one. That's kind of right up my alley. And then we have Rusty Wrench Restoration still up here. And Adirondack Woodsman. Jeff's still doing wood splitting and cutting and all that kind of stuff. So I'll turn you around here for the final goings on. Just don't get scared now. Yeah, we don't want anybody to get scared. Looking at this face here. Anyway, that's the end of this Sunday afternoon fireside chat that's been done in the morning with no fire. I think it might be just afternoon, after 12 o'clock now. But anyway, like I said, that's going to be the way it's going to go for the next little while, next couple of months. It could be done on Sunday morning, it could be done on Saturday, it could be done on Monday. Things are just going to change around a little bit, just depending on what's going on. So once we get back into probably October, we'll get back on the normal schedule, I would say. And anyway, so have a great day wherever you're at and whatever you're doing, and we'll see you again soon.